if you are an online reader of the Orange County Register and you look at the Laguna Woods section, now they are putting the letters to the editor on the website. And as you may know, Barbara Potter only has one page a week, so she's limited to the number of letters she can get on. So if you want to read those letters, that's the place to look. Well, I happened to take a look at this morning at 3 pages of letters. Good percentage of them were dealing with the topic near and dear to the heart of my next guest. Ron Beldner is here, the president of United. A lot of those letters were dealing with United, a lot of them dealing with that 6-month rule, which is still an issue, and a lot of people dealing with discussing the bylaw issue. That's still in the works. Bylaw voting at the end of the month. You have another town hall coming up this week.
Right, we'll have a town hall meeting this Friday at 10 o'clock in Clubhouse 5. It'll be run a little different than it was last week. There will be more controls put on it. We will not allow the sandbox mentality that was shown there of people running around screaming, yelling, and clapping. If that occurs, we will terminate the meeting.
So that'll be coming your way on Friday at 10 a.m. If you get up to Clubhouse 5, you can be in the audience. If you are not so inclined, you can join us here on Channel 6. We'll show it live starting at 10 o'clock on Friday morning as well, and a replay coming up on Friday evening in case you miss it during the day. But more recently now, you've had your monthly meeting, and that was held yesterday. The whole board was there, and again, as always, lots of lively topics and lively discussions. As everybody knows, we're in the middle of this political season, and we're starting to see the bumper stickers and the placards and some of the signs, maybe in outlying communities, vote for so-and-so for this or so-and-so for that. You folks are being very careful with what you do and don't allow the homeowners to do in their home. We all have First Amendment rights and free speech, but the board also has rights. Kind of where are we on this posting of signage in United?
Okay, well basically it's private property in here, and we do have the right to make restrictions. For example, real estate market can put in one sign in the window of any unit for sale. On days of a sale, they can put signs outside to attract the people into the areas. But individual signs, political signs, religious signs, they cannot be put into the common ground areas. You cannot put them out there into your windows. You cannot put them out onto the garden areas, hook them to your walls and stuff like that.
What about if you put it in your window and says, you know, vote for Smith or vote for Jones in your front window? Is that allowed?
Well, there are certain restrictions on signage, and when the board made those decisions, it was to protect the whole community. As you know, you go into some communities and you see signs everywhere. Many cities do not allow signs to be put on common areas, but yet you come off the freeway and there's 20 signs to vote for people. This has got to be taken care of and stopped.
I guess people still do have the right to put bumper stickers on their car, though.
That's right.
And it's always funny, every once in a while you'll see an election, you'll see on the same car the 2 opposing presidential candidates. So you obviously know that one member of the family is for this person and one member of the family is for the other person. So that's always fun to kind of analyze the politics and the family dynamic of all of that. Something that's certainly serious is our good health, and one of those things that's been shown to be detrimental to our health is asbestos. As we all know, it was used for years in the shipbuilding industry, in the theater industry, in construction, in home construction, and fireproofing in lots of ways. You folks were discussing that and some specifics about how to contain asbestos here in the community.
Okay, we have a program, and that whenever our management company does any projects for the board, we take a look at everything that we do to make sure that there is no asbestos around that could have injured the member or to the employee. We take all the precautions. In some cases, you've seen our people where they've had ceiling problems and we have to replace them. They're wearing these white suits or even with masks, even with tanks of air. But we also tell, and when you come in here, you do sign an agreement that you've been told that about the asbestos. But what we've had is some contractors that people hire. They come in, they don't care. They'll scrape the ceilings with the people there. They'll pull out the insulation. They'll rip up the floors. And we've had one major one that caused recently $10,000 damage. And so the homeowner now has to pay $10,000 to the asbestos mitigation company that we had to hire to come in and clean up her unit before they could do anything. So when you hire anybody, you've got to make sure that they take every precaution, and we provide all the data for the contractors.
And obviously this gets back to the permit process, which has been the norm here forever. about 12 years ago, the process doubled in that you need a permit, in your case, from United Mutual as well as from the city of Laguna Woods. So
Right.
people need to have both permits. They have to have them both displayed. And I know some of the contractors sometimes try and skirt that, and they go, you don't really need a permit for that. In your own self-interest as a homeowner, you might want to check that out and don't get caught, because you'll end up having to pay the fine as well as the permit.
Yeah, every month we find these things, and then if you go to sell your place and you've made all these changes, before you can collect anything, we either have to get those permits paid for, or many times the items that you have changed have to be corrected. All those corrections are charged back to the escrow before you get any money.
Yeah, it's an important issue. So again, check with the permit department on the first floor of this building as well as with the city of Laguna Woods. You folks are always obviously concerned about the workings of United Mutual, but obviously this is a large community with lots of things going on. You're looking to maybe get more involved on an official basis with the GRF and some of their closed meetings. And I know the open meetings, obviously anybody can attend those. But the proposal yesterday that a couple of your board members might start attending the executive sessions of Golden Rain.
Okay, a little over a year ago, the corporate board members, now there are 38 board members that do the voting, voted to have a change in the bylaws of GRF to allow 2 members of each of the mutuals to attend the GRF executive session, closed session. They will be observers only, they will not participate. They can then come back to the board on certain issues of their board and tell them what is happening. There's been some resistance from GRF. Their attorney says that that is illegal. We have just simply gone over that again because it was recently voted by all the board members again of all the mutuals to keep that by law.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's where we stand.
All right, very good. Hey, an issue that's very important for all of you folks I know is the maintenance of your homes and the painting. You've had a committee, a group, the Cul-de-sac 208 paint color subcommittee, and you're now going to drop Cul-de-sac 208. You're going to make it a paint committee for the whole community of United.
Right. What has happened in the past is we've had to hire out consultants who come in and say, these are the colors you should paint your building. And that's the way it's painted for about 3-4 years before we bring in the next consultant.
Right.
So what we have done is put together a committee to take a look at how can we change the color spread within this community. Instead of having 4 colors, 20 colors. Give it some more life, make it more valuable, more, curb appeal is
Yeah.
basically the word. And we've done that. We've done 208, we're doing 206. We'll be doing dozens of buildings, carports, all different colors, and people have an opportunity to see it. If you're told that your building is going to be a certain color and the people in that building don't want that color, they can all sign a little note, and then we will change the color to what they want.
All right, sounds like a good program. Again, that'll be future painting colors there. If people missed the meeting yesterday, they can catch a replay tomorrow, Thursday. That'll be coming up at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. And then the meeting on Friday, once again, is going to be open, live meeting, come from Clubhouse 5. We're going to preempt our programming starting at 10 o'clock on Friday. And you may have some of the same folks, but you may have some different folks as well. You had, I think, 200 to 300 maybe there last time?
Right. And we're going to be making some major changes. There will be no microphones. They will be turning in a card with their question. As you saw, people were jumping up, and of course, this is a specific group of people who are making a lot of claims that are no validity, and the board will, as of yesterday, made a decision, and you will be seeing a lot of information coming from the board about these people, what they're trying, and about some of the illegal activities. And I have to use the word illegal.
Obviously, this issue, the single issue of the 6-month rental is just one of the things addressed in the bylaws. There's lots of things in the bylaws and the occupancy agreement, all of which the folks in United are asked to vote on, yes or no, before the end of this month. So,
well, the bylaws are not the part of the overall.
okay.
We've had this thing since 1985 where we have the 6-month
Right.
limit. That was supposed to be 2 years. We
Right.
allowed it to go.
Right.
At January 1 of this year, the governor signed the bill passed by our legislators that said that if you had no more restrictions, actually, you could not put restrictions on apartments, co-ops, or condos. But if you had anything in, that became the rule, and that became the statute for your organization. So the 6-month rule is in there. Now, if the people say, hey, we want to go and vote all different, they have to run another whole program, and then it starts from that day. But the original 6,323 with the owners on that record of that day, they're still 6 months.
All right. Again, that'll get up in discussion along with lots of other important things on Friday. Watch that meeting live at 10 o'clock. If you miss it, we'll play it back for you on Friday evening as well, so a chance to see it as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you via the screen on Friday and then for your next report here on Channel 6.
Oh, we thank you for having us.
Thanks, Ron. Good to have you on the program today. More guests, more things to talk about coming up as we continue with Channel 6 News. Come back in 2 minutes. We'll be right here.